Thank you, guys. And thanks to the hardworking team behind the scenes here making it all happen. Hi, everyone. Nice to see y'all. Again, Ralphie Aversa, of course, entertainment reporter at USA Today. And we'll do the proper introductions with our panel here one by one, actually, as we play the spots. So let's start, Jessica, with you first, of course. Jessica Grigoriou, the SVP of Marketing and Condiments at Unilever. Hellmann's back in the big game. Mystique, mystery, which stars are they going to have? Which direction are they going to go in? Well, we found out thanks to a very prominent Saturday Night Live alumnus and a song that, well, at least one team in the Super Bowl definitely knows every word to the song, or at least they think they do until they see this spot. So without further ado, this is Sweet Sandwich Time. Round of applause for Hellmann's, everybody. And Sweet Sandwich. I didn't get any bas here. Man, you guys are a little, gotta get to the bar here. Loosen up a little bit. Congratulations on being back in the big game. Boy, there's so much to dive into with this, with Andy, obviously, and then the song that you take a spin on. Let's start with the song. How do you land on Sweet Caroline, Neil Diamond, and then you figure, all right, we're going to put our own spin on it?
Yes, well, this is our 6th year back, actually. So every year we want to do something unexpected, something breakthrough in culture. And the executions may change. Some last year, a bit more nostalgia. This year we went the musical parody route. And so when we landed on this song, what is one of the most iconic sing-along songs of all time, whether it be in stadiums, at weddings, karaoke, everyone knows the words, it brings people together. And so this year we thought, what better way to reimagine this iconic song through this over-the-top character of Neil Diamond and show everyone how Hellmann's makes your sandwich taste so good.
It's obviously an anthem in New England as well. It is played at every home Boston Red Sox game at Fenway Park. So the fact that the Patriots now are in the game as well, certainly you couldn't plan for it unless, well, no, we won't mention anything about a script. But certainly you couldn't plan for it. So then when that happens, I mean, what are those conversations like?
Well, it's amazing. This is one of these happy coincidences. I mean, you plan for being in culture, but you never really know what's going to happen. And the Patriots actually are a partner team of ours as well. So it was kind of double serendipitous. So, you know, then we look at how do we jump on this and how can we be even more agile. So we actually just last weekend had a send-off party with them where we were able to play our version, Sweet Sandwich Time, in the stadium for a sing-along there. So it's you know, how do we move fast and take advantage when these amazing magic moments strike?
All right, when did you start planning for this ad?
Oh, I mean, like right after the last one.
Really? Okay.
It's a journey. I mean, we from last Super Bowl we do a big summit. And we work on our brief, co-created with our amazing agency VML, and you know, we're always moving. We move a couple ideas forward, right? Because stars sometimes need to align, and then we get lots of feedback, and when we know we've hit something big, we really go full force.
Easy working. You have to clear the song through Neil, right? Obviously, or
yes.
What was that? I mean, look, and again, you've referenced last year. You're no stranger to iconic IP and going through all that and getting the players involved that need to be. You've done that before. What was different, maybe specifically about this time working with Neil Diamond's team?
Yeah, I mean, this one, we knew we loved the song, and then through this character of Neil and working with Andy, which was incredible, and he brought his own writing team in the mix. We were, you know, co-creating lyrics together, but it was really important for us. We wanted to both pay tribute and respect the song, and Neil Diamond, of course, but also bring humor and levity to it. And so how to have that balance of, you know, we want to, again, tribute, but then make it really hilarious, and being able to work together on that.
And Andy obviously is like, you know, you watch the ad, he's totally in. Why him for this?
Yeah, I mean, I think Andy is known for musical parody. We knew we wanted someone who had that incredible comedic timing, who could do music really well, and he was incredible. Again, like he really, one of my favorite lines, like, "This is how I make friends." Like that came from Andy, right? And so he was a great partner in it. And then seeing him on set, like when he came on set, he was Neil Diamond. Like he had the wig. Even me, I was like, wait, is that Andy or is that our stand-in? I'm like, no, this is him because he became this character of Neil. And I think that's what you need, full commitment. And he's so great at humor.
Round of applause for Hellmann's and sweet sandwich time. There it is. Nicely produced. All right. Well, speaking of Saturday Night Live alums, we'll continue on that trend with our next commercial that we're going to play for you. One SNL alum, two, I guess you would definitely call them SNL adjacent talent. One's been a host. One is married to somebody who's pretty prominent on the show too. This is this brand's second entry ever into the Super Bowl. Debut was last year with the Salty Club. Now we will head to the Ritz Island. Let's take a look. Very funny. Round of applause for Ritz. How about it? The Ritz Island. We'd like to hang out with those three, but we're also very happy that we get to hang out with Steven Saenen, who's the category president of Savory Snacks here in the U.S. for Mondelēz. Steven, back in the big game. Congratulations on an awesome ad, and thank you for inviting USA Today Ad Meter to set, where I got to see that, yes, that was in fact real sand on that soundstage in Hollywood, where you filmed that incredible commercial. What happened after last year's commercial that got you back into the big game this year, Steven?
Yes. So first, Ralphie, can I just say I'm a little bit salty about Hellmann's commercial because that song has been stuck in my head all week long.
That's the point.
Awesome, man. So this was a big move for us last year. We're on this journey to modernize the Ritz brand from this like legacy cracker, really establish it as a modern snack. We knew we had to make a big move, which we did last year, first Super Bowl ad. It was very successful for us across all the metrics we're looking at. Moving the needle in terms of brand equity, gaining market share. We gained 1 million households in household penetration. And then so this year was all about doubling down and dialing up the energy and the impact of the creative.
And when you say gaining, I mean, look, Ritz has been around for, everybody knows what Ritz is. I'm sure everybody's had a Ritz at one time or another, but more people are buying Ritz and Ritz products is what you're saying there, right?
Yes, exactly. And so I think what we're trying to do with this commercial is, on the one hand, remind people that Ritz is this great tasting snack that brings everybody together. In the words of the great Bowen Yang, it's the great snack equalizer that everybody can enjoy. But on the other hand, we really need to change the tone of voice. And that's where salty comes in, gives it a bit of an edge, a bit of irreverence, more fun. And that's the evolution we're trying to drive.
All right, so last year, Aubrey Plaza and Michael Shannon with a cameo from this year's Super Bowl halftime show performer, Bad Bunny. That was last year with Ritz. Now this year, you get arguably Bad Bunny's most famous American fan, Juan Hellmann, a.k.a. John Hamm, of course. And he's in the mix there along with ScarJo and Bowen. How did you land on those three?
Yeah, I think first of all, we're very proud also with the trio we had last year, which was kind of perfect to establish saltiness as a platform with their deadpan humor. This year we're shooting for cultural relevance because this is so, the objective really is to modernize the brand. We wanted, you mentioned comedic timing. We wanted amazing actors and comedians who can just deliver the specific type of humor that we're shooting for. And then the chemistry between them just brings it all together. And then the last thing I would add is, as our message is, we're this brand that brings everybody together. We want everybody to feel seen and celebrated. The fact that they're all so different, but at the same time have this connectivity, helps to reinforce that message.
Okay, when you first walked onto set there at the Universal Studios in Hollywood, and you saw the Hollywood magic that took place, that beach that they built in that soundstage, what went through your mind?
I mean, honestly, and I'm glad you got to see it too, I had never seen anything like it. We were all blown away, really exceeding all of our expectations. So huge shout out to the whole production crew, PXP, Hungry Man, our director, Dan Opsahl. It was absolutely stunning. It felt like being on a real island.
And then it's interesting too, all three of the talent, I mean, they obviously, when I was talking with them, they were all talking about the ways in which they enjoy eating their Ritz crackers. Was there any, I guess, one comment or any of the three, if you could single out maybe one talent that like is a super fan maybe of the brand that like even you were like, oh wow, I didn't realize that you liked our snack this much?
No, we were so thrilled that all three of them are like genuine fans of the product and the brand. Not to do injustice to the other two, but I would say Bowen really impressed me. It's like he's in our marketing team. Like he knows the entire portfolio. He knew all the innovation that came out in 25. He had all these ideas about new recipes. Like we were incredibly impressed.
Is what you saw last year with this spot, is that kind of your goal for this year now? Or is there something else as well that you're looking at?
No, I think last year was very successful in moving the needle for us. We're looking at, image metrics like modernity, fun, and we're really moving the needle there. This year, honestly, we might want to make it a little bit more Super Bowl-esque, dialing up the impact, dialing up the humor, and making a little bit more laugh out loud.
Round of applause again for Ritz. Incredible ad there with, of course, Scarlett Johansson and Bowen Yang and Jon Hamm. All right, our final here of mystery and mystique. And boy, we got some mystery. We got some embargo coming up here. I don't know. We might have to. Anybody have to sign anything before that? All right, we'll get to that in a second here. Let's first play this ad for Toyota. Back in the big game. This ad is called Superhero Belts. Let's take a look. Round of applause for Toyota, and we welcome one of Toyota's superheroes now to the USA Today Ad Meter Summit. Dedra DeLilli, VP of Marketing Communications for Toyota Motor North America. Thanks for joining us, first of all.
Thanks for having me.
You know, it's so interesting. Rick and I get asked all the time when we're doing media, like what works and what doesn't work. And we see a lot of brands, including two, of course, here, go the comedy route, and that usually can cut through. When you're trying to go deep from a standpoint of an emotional standpoint and pull at the heartstrings, it could get a little tricky, but it can be very effective. So with all of that said now, how do you land on the creative for this spot?
Yeah, well, thanks for that question. So this spot is a story about this multi-generational connection. And we think it's highly relatable that we can all see ourselves in these very value-driven moments, right? So we went this route because as a brand, we're relatively humble, and we are a brand that is deeply steeped in our values and our legacy. And so this spot, right, it starts with this formative memory of almost 30 years ago with a nod to our first generation RAV4, and then fast forward almost 30 years to today, we're launching our all-new RAV4, the 2026 RAV4, and the tagline is "People are the destination," and that's really this nod to the fact that it doesn't matter where you're going, it's who you're on the journey with that truly matters. And for us, having this moment to be able to, I think, quietly and subtly showcase our new vehicle and the role that it plays in, big moments, but also these mundane, profound moments of emotion. I think it positions Toyota, squarely in the space of, I think being a company that's on your side and that's there for anything that life throws at you.
Did this launch of the 2026 RAV4, is that what spurred really the idea of putting this in the big game, or no?
Okay, so we have a very unique approach to the way in which we think about whether or not we're going to enter Super Bowl. So unlike most brands, we actually don't create Super Bowl spots. I know that sounds really crazy.
Even though, okay, all right.
However, what we do is we challenge our ad agencies to create Super Bowl-worthy work all year long. That is the bar we set, that is the expectation. And we then look at our marketing priorities and of course the timeline of Super Bowl, and if stars align and we have a spot that we deem Super Bowl worthy, then we're gonna run a spot. I think what it does is it from an agency point of view, we have multiple agencies, it kind of evens the playing field and provides an opportunity for anyone to be able to show up with a Super Bowl storyline. And it also is a play on, right, just being highly efficient, and we create spots that are going to live long beyond the game. And so this spot, Superhero Belt, is actually part of a multi-model, multifaceted, larger campaign. It'll debut, of course, this weekend in Super Bowl, but it will run for many months following.
What are those conversations like? Not just different ideas or different concepts, but you got the commercials right there, and I'm sure, most of the time, not everybody is in 100% agreement. So how do you kind of sort that out and then figure out what you're going to eventually move forward with?
I think like anyone, it's a little bit of art and a little bit of science, right? And I think if you have that gut feeling, particularly with this spot, it just felt so true to the ethos of our brand and the alignment with the launch of the all-new 2026 RAV4. It just felt like it was the right moment for us to share this sentiment.
Did you test it at all or no?
Yeah, we typically do, testing on all of our spots. So yes, but I think with this one, it felt like the right moment to be able to deliver this message in this tone.
Yeah, I mean, you talk about gut, which is why I asked that, because I feel like that is rare in whether you're talking sports and analytics or you're talking marketing. I mean, it's like to kind of have the agency to be able to do that. Where does that come from with Toyota, you think?
Yeah, I mean, right, we all have higher order brand objectives and KPIs and goals. And for this spot, as we analyzed what we were trying to accomplish, particularly around the launch of the all-new RAV4, this spot laddered up perfectly. It actually was produced many months ago, and we held on the spot for this moment because we felt like it deserved to have this platform and this massive audience and moment.
Okay, this is a panel about mystery and mystique and building that up here around the big game. Dedra, what else can you tell me about Toyota Super Bowl plans?
We might have another spot.
Whoa. So 2 spots in the big game, USA Today ad meter eligible.
You got it.
Huh. The second spot that you might have, is there anything you can fill me in on with it as far as any timeline or no?
Allegedly, it's going to be revealed before the game.
Okay.
At some point.
Okay.
And I can't say a lot about it, of course, but what I will say is I think as we think about our strategy for having longevity and delivering efficiencies with our stories, this spot leans into 3 of the marquee sporting events that are happening in this short amount of time, right? So Olympics, Paralympics, of course, Super Bowl, and then Daytona 500, we already are deeply and authentically connected to.
Very interesting clues there. Okay, so Toyota, 1 spot definitely, second one maybe. If there is a second one, we're gonna get it before the big game. Let's open it back up now for the entire panel because this is really a big part of this panel. I would love to hear from each of you. Stephen, we'll start with you and then go down. How do you decide internally when you're going to release teasers and then the ad?
Yeah, so first of all, we don't have a second spot. We have just the one, all in on one. It's a whole, for me, I see this whole campaign as almost a story that unfolds over time. It starts with the announcement. We announced pretty early in November, mainly driven by commercial timelines. Because December 1st, we had a special limited edition cracker in stores. We had our full in-store activation go live, and then all throughout the season. And then we dropped the teaser last week on Tuesday, and then revealed the full spot this week on Tuesday. And I think it's really about timing. Like it's almost like a choreography that you got to get exactly right. I feel like working backwards from the game day, releasing the spot a couple of days before, a little bit under a week is perfect. And then the teaser 1 week before feels perfect as well. Because you don't want to be too close. You also don't want too much time between them, because then you lose the momentum.
Interesting. And again, every brand's different. Jessica, would love to hear for Hellmann's.
Yeah, no, it's for us, I think doing this now for our 6th year, what we've learned is it's so much more than just the spot. It's all the surrounds activity. We've both been saying it. It's the lead up and the intrigue ahead of it, and then how do you extend the campaign before? So the teaser strategy or the Easter eggs or what we can plant ahead of time is so important to start that storytelling, build intrigue, get people to participate. So for us this year, our teaser we released was just, you saw the back of Meal Diamond. We introduced Meal Diamond. He had his comb through his hair, a bite of his delicious sandwich, but you didn't know who he was. We didn't reveal it was Andy. We didn't reveal, anything more about it. So you started to get these questions of whose meal. And then we had amazing partnerships with creators who were speculating who this could be. And so driving that intrigue along the way. for us, we did release our full spot, which you saw ahead of it, because we wanted to build more of that connective tissue around it. So one example, Meal Diamond became this character that connected a lot of elements. So we have a partnership with Jimmy John's where you can get the Meal Diamond ham and 3 cheese melt sandwich, which is available now. So for us, again, it's I love what you said, the choreography of it. Like it's all very intentional to build that momentum and well orchestrated in how everything comes together.
And Jessica, just a quick follow up there. As you're building that mystique, you're doing everything there with the teasers. How much, if at all, maybe even indirectly, is Song Sung Blue? Of course, if you don't know, Hugh Jackman and wow, totally forgot Kurt Russell and Goldie Hawn's daughter, Kate Hudson. Thank you very much. It's been a long couple weeks. Kate Hudson obviously being nominated for an Oscar for that role as well. So Neil, really like back in the lexicon in a big, big way with this film about this cover band that was covering songs of his. How much, if at all, did that kind of factor into any of your campaign?
Yeah, so we had the creative idea before we knew about Song Sung Blue, actually. But it became this kind of, again, happy coincidence where the magic kind of all works together. Even Elle Fanning, who was a cameo in our spot, was nominated for an Oscar as well for work she's done. So just, I think when you have something that is relevant in culture, more of these things will hit, and you'll be able to kind of play on the magic as things build further. So good timing, I think.
And then obviously now, Toyota, different because we got one spot a week out. We might if we get a second, I guess that'll be before the game. So how are you deciding how this is all gonna, unfold?
Yeah, with a dual creative strategy, you have to take a little bit of a different approach. For us, probably a more traditional approach in the way we revealed our first spot that you all saw here about a week out. So I think similar timing to the folks on the panel. That one, I think, was really critical for us to get out early as we start to build momentum around our new RAV4. The second spot, I think one can live on its own. And so we wanted to make sure that they each had their moment. And so very deliberately built some space between the reveals of each of the spots. But the great thing about them is there's a unified thematic that ties these spots together. But individually, they're working hard in their own way with very distinct messages. So we have 2 different editorial paths that we can take, which, I think is great. And then, as I said, because the spots are going to have longevity, this is just the beginning for us. So there will be multiple additional touch points and editorial moments as we progress past Super Bowl.
All right, let's fast forward to Sunday night for the 3 of you. Will you be able to enjoy the game and just enjoy all of the commercials? Are there a lot of, teams and Slack calls? What's going on here on Sunday night as, all 3 of these great brands see these big ads in front of a huge TV audience?
Well, I'm fortunate I'll be here actually watching the game, which is very
there.
exciting.
Okay, there you go.
But what we do in the game, and we're in the 4th quarter, on my phone, be watching our ad live. And then immediately I'm on social to see what are people saying about it and what the conversations are. So we have an incredible team. Yes, we have all of our war rooms set up to engage and also chat with other brands as well who have spots in the Super Bowl too.
Are you a Pats or Seahawks fan or no? Or are you just...
So I'm cheering for the Pats because of our partnership, but I'm a Bills fan. I'm from Canada. So
okay, nice. Fellow Bills fan. Very nice. Southern Ontario? Or no?
Yeah, well, I'm originally from Calgary. My husband from Toronto.
Okay. Wow. Yeah. So all over.
It's all over.
Gotcha. What about for the 2 of you?
So I'll actually also be here watching the game. Very happy to have my team also here. So it's going to be an amazing moment for us. It's going to be half-half. We're going to be enjoying the time together and watching this amazing moment. At the same time, anxiously and eagerly following social, the conversations, how it's all going. And then probably get up early the next day to look at all the roundups.
Yes, also going to the game.
Nice.
At that
Look
point,
at you guys.
Yeah,
All right.
At that point, it's time to take a breath.
Gotta become friends with y'all.
And have a moment and enjoy it. So we actually have a Team Toyota player that we sponsor playing in the game. So Christian Gonzalez, the cornerback of the Patriots. We also sponsor both teams. And I'm a New York Giants fan, so the complexity of all of this is real. But I'm, certainly pulling for the Pats because of the affiliation that we have in support of our player.
Ritz, Hellmann's, Toyota, 3 incredible ads, and obviously you guys will get to enjoy the game, and then we'll be hopefully watching the Today Show, the 9 a.m. hour Eastern, and finding out who the winner of USA Today ad meter is. How about a round of applause again for Jessica, Steven, and Dedra, everybody, and those 3 great spots. Thank you both, for all of you, for joining us here at USA Today's Ad Meter Summits.
Yeah.